Happy Friday. Welcome to this week's version of Find It Friday. I am coming to you guys from Pensacola Beach, Florida, visiting family here, and we're doing some fun stuff. And today I've got a fun property that I have found that I want to show you guys, and I want to take you through my thought process of how I've identified it, went through the underwriting, and now how I can actually execute moving forward on this property that is actually for sale. So I'm going to share my screen here and walk you guys through it. So let's see if this pops up. I'm just going to make sure this is actually showing here. 1 second. Okay, perfect. We're up and rolling. Okay, so this is a cool property I found in the San Antonio area. It's for sale. It's 825,000 bucks, 5-bedroom house, and shows a really interesting signal of a good investment property with like a 19 or 20% cash on cash return, making like 5 grand a month in net cash flow. So now the question is this a good deal or not? And let's go walk through from the start to the finish of how I actually identified it. We can walk through the comps, and then we could see if this is something that you should actually pursue potentially as an investment property. And the learnings you have here, you'll be able to apply to really any market that we look at together. So what I did is I typed in basically, hey, using our new AI filters on Strike, hey, any properties that make over $100,000, over a 10% cash on cash return, and underneath $1 million in the San Antonio, Texas area. And immediately it put in my filters for all these key things that we talked about. So the technology now leveraging AI is able to really hone in on certain properties that work well versus just, versus you typically doing the thing you would do, on Zillow, just trying to find that needle in the haystack. So it really just helps surface these properties that are better. The other thing I want to show you guys is we have these new defaults that show base case, target versus upside. Now, this is how I'm able to identify properties faster, is this target case right here, which is based on the 75th percentile of that property in that market. And what does that mean? Every single property has a range of revenue potential. And so what we're showing and what we're going to underwrite on is on this 75th percentile, which is this upscale number. Okay, so now that we have dove into that for context purposes, again, I typed in my filter here of anything over $100,000, over 10% cash on cash return, anything under $1 million, boom, shows me all these properties in San Antonio. So I was hunting around here. I found this one on the north side of San Antonio that looks really interesting, the one I showed you earlier. I clicked on it, and I was like, you know what? Okay, it already has a lot of good infrastructure and bones. It's got this nice pool. It's got it looks like it may already be a short-term rental based on what I'm seeing here. I mean, it's got the fire pit. It's got basketball, pickleball. I mean, it's pretty awesome. And I think it even has a movie room. Let me show you all some more pictures here. So game room, long seating area for families, bunk beds. There's a movie theater in this property. Where's some more pictures I want to show y'all. Then you get outside, there's like the putting green, play set, pickleball. I mean, it's got tons of great bones, but I'm already seeing through the pictures, there's ways to elevate that and provide a more upscale or premium experience compared to what I'm seeing right now. And so now let's dive into the details here. So I usually like to look in here to see if there's any other gold of like, is there a garage that could be converted? Is there a barn? Are there additional ADUs that could be used that might not be showing up in the MLS information? Thankfully, this already says a lot of what's going on here with like the sport court, putting green, all sorts of interesting stuff here. Now, what we want to do is actually go analyze this property. And so, you'll want to talk to an agent to see where you can get the purchase price, but thankfully we're in a buyer's market now. So who knows, maybe you could get that thing down to like 800. You're not able to convert any other spaces into more living spaces based on what I'm seeing now. So we'll keep it at a 5-bedroom. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Every property we show base, target, and upside, which is mid-scale, upscale, and premium. And this is what we're seeing is $181,000 in potential revenue for this property. Now, the first question you're going to ask is like, well, how the heck are you getting that? Well, if you go verify your comps, we're going to go here. This is really the intelligence behind Strike that really powers the entire platform. And this is our comps dashboard. So what I did is I typed in the address here, 5-mile radius, and I did exactly 5 bedrooms, and it shows me 71 comps around this property, and it shows me the full revenue potential based on all of these comps. And it says, if you were to just go buy property, throw furniture in it, you can make like $90,000. If you were to go provide an elevated experience and amenities and design, you can make like 158. Or if you were to like deck it out like Michael Elefante and a bunch of his properties, you can like make like $200,000 or more. And typically what I see with a lot of investors is when you try really hard to make that property amazing, typically you land somewhere in between the 75th and 90th percentile, which ironically, not really, puts you exactly at that target case that we showed you there with a little bit of upside potential. So who knows, it could be $200,000 or more, but realistically, you're probably going to be in this $180,000 range based on the comp. So this gives me the confidence to know, okay, this seems real. Now let's dive into that a little bit more so we can know how much capital we might have to think about investing. Thankfully, the pictures look pretty good already. But if we go do this, let me actually expand this to like 4 to 6 bedrooms. Some of the key amenities for this area are a hot tub and a pool that drive most of the revenue. And thankfully, as you can see, there's a pool and there's a hot tub, I believe. I'm not sure if there's a hot tub. So that is something we could look at adding to add additional revenue somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's a hot tub. So those are 2 key amenities we already have that we don't have to spend money on. Now, if we go to the table view and go from top to bottom of real revenue, we can go see all these comps and what they're making. So there's multiple comps that are making over 200 grand in revenue. I mean, 5 to 10 of those. And then there's tons that are making in this 190, 180, 170 range, all the way down to 150. So based on all these comps that I'm seeing here, there's tons of them that look very similar that I found using our comps dashboard that, you know, we could provide an elevated experience with string lights, outdoor lighting, you know, maybe lifestyle photos, some other things like that to really spruce it up to get us to that 180 number or even higher. But for now, we'll just stick with 180. So I feel really good about that number for this property. Now let's go to startup costs. So we use AI to really factor in how much it's going to cost capital-wise to really get that property to that 75th percentile or that target case. So we're showing about 150,000 in furnishing, design, amenities, experience, plus about 20 grand in renovations. Honestly, Mike can only do it with like 100,000, but we'll keep it in there with this for now, just to be a little bit more conservative. And if you put in the reoccurring expenses here, let's just say we're going to manage it on our own. Everything else has been pre-populated for you. Insurance probably needs to go up because of a swimming pool and a larger property. So we'll juice that up to 9,000. And then let's put in, I like to put in like 10 grand for reserves and miscellaneous, just to have like cash reserves in the bank, things that you're maybe not planning for, like a roof replacement, AC replacement, just things that are gotchas later on that you don't really plan for up front. So you need to have some cash allocated for that, just so your numbers just don't get too wonky later on. Financing with a property like this at this price point, we can actually probably go down to like 10% down as like a second home loan for this property. We can talk more about how you could do that later, but it technically can be a second home loan, which can get you down to that 10%. And now based on all of this, we're looking at a 19% cash on cash return. And let's go see the full details here. And so when it pulls everything up here, look at this, 180 grand of revenue, 19% cash on cash, makes $4,300 a month in net cash flow. And this is for sale. You can go buy right now. Here's the full underwriting of it. Let's go do the full detailed report. And so this is something I literally just found this morning as I was prepping for this webinar, just thinking about, what's a fun market that'd be fun to invest in. And just, I got on Strike, leveraging the AI, just saying, hey, what are some great properties that make over 10% cash on cash, that make over 100 grand in revenue? And boom, I mean, this one literally just spoon fed this property to me that I was not even aware of until today. And now I have all the details that I could, if I wanted to, and if I were in your shoes, I could literally just click this link, send it to my dad, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my friends, and just say, hey, you want to go partner on this deal? I've fully vetted it, looked at all the comps, verified it, looks amazing, already has a ton of great bones. And honestly, one of y'all should go buy this property and tell me if you bought it, because this would be a really fun case study of you watching the YouTube video and executing on that. Now, the only thing missing from this is regulations and the local experts to actually execute on this thing. So thankfully, we have now built in this expert page that is slowly evolving and building, because what you need to do is, the tech and the data will help you find it fast, but you still need great local experts to help you execute with confidence, to help validate the numbers that you're seeing, and to help guide you around the STR regulations. This one, thankfully, it already looks like an STR, so it's probably okay, but you would want to talk to an agent just to verify, because I know with San Antonio, sometimes you can't have certain STRs, within a certain range of each other. I'm a broker in Texas, if you want to talk to me, or there's groups out there like Cribs Realty with Blake, who's also awesome in that market that can help you. And there's a few others that we can connect you with, but we are slowly building out this Find Your Expert team so that you can have agents, lenders, designers, anyone at your fingertips, lenders, in any market, for you to be able to move forward with confidence. And so be on the lookout for this, because we're going to have more and more people and teams coming in that will be great in every single market. So that is it for today, and how we found this really cool property in San Antonio, Texas. Again, it's for sale. You can go buy it today. The numbers, the data is signaling that it's a really interesting investment opportunity. And so the next step would be for one of you guys to go talk to a local expert and see if it's a good fit for you. So thanks for joining, and drop in the comments below if there's any certain market or property that you'll want to evaluate next time. And we'll love to check it out. I think I actually see a question here. Let's see. So Katie's seeing, if you partner with someone on this, how do you get your SDR hours for rep status purposes? Any suggestions? So I'll just tell you an example, a couple of examples. The exact process, I think my wife just went through her sports bra. We will turn it this way, guys. Okay, I'm back in action now. So I did 2 deals recently with my father-in-law and mother-in-law. And on both of those, we did 50-50 partnerships with our LLCs. And you have to have 100 hours of material participation for that partner to actually get those active write-offs. And so just like we're doing right now, evaluating these properties, that goes towards your hours, touring the property, negotiations, all of that goes into those 100 hours. So what I would do is build a spreadsheet or something where you can just start tracking that. But everything that you're doing right now, even evaluating the property, putting together LLC structures, all that stuff, that will actually go into your hours. There's actually someone in our Strike Squad community that built a material participation tracker. I'll see if I can drop that in the comments or in our community so that y'all can look at that. It's a pretty cool tracker if you want to check it out in the future. Okay, so Katie's saying Palm Desert, La Quinta, and Coachella areas that we would want to check out. So cool. So maybe next week we can look at those properties in those markets and see if we're able to identify one there. And I would also say, if there's certain budget ranges that y'all are looking in, let me know, because I can really put us to the test and say, well, let's see if we can find properties underneath 600,000 or 500,000 that have a pool, that are over 4 bedrooms, certain criteria like that, and we could see if we're able to find those very unique needles in the haystack. Okay, another question: if you and your partner have separate LLCs, So my father-in-law and I had an LLC, and he had his trust for our 50/50 partnership, and we were still able to unlock the bonus depreciation for both of us. So what I would do is I'd talk to your CPA and just tell them, hey, here's the plan. And at the end of the day, you both truly have to materially participate and show those hours. You know, again, I'm not the CPA, but we were able to do it on our end. So you just, again, find the right CPA, which I've got a bunch of connections. There's guys out there like Matt Bontrager with uh, TrueBooks. There's Ryan Bakke. I use a guy named Brad. That's a guy out of Lubbock that's really good. So let me know if y'all need a good CPA, and I can even drop one in the chat or in our Strike Squad community to get you recommended and connected with. Someone's saying $600,000 max purchase price, 4-bedroom with a pool. Okay, so I'll be on the hunt for some of those deals in that Coachella, Palm Desert area, and maybe next week we'll check out that area. And if y'all have any other markets you want to look at, again, I'm in Pensacola right now with some family. Might look here. I know college towns are kind of a booming thing. I invest in a college town, and it's a great investment for me. Other things like that, drop it in the chat. Let me know, and we will take a look at that next time. So, thank y'all for joining, and we'll see y'all next Friday.